Hello. I hope everyone had a really great weekend. And today we are going to get into the first of the five things that you should stop doing before 2026. And if you haven't seen that video yet, that is the one that is right before this one. So watch that video if you haven't seen it yet. So, the very first item on that list of five to stop before 2026 is people pleasing. Now, there is a long list of things that would fall under the category of people pleasing. Um, the typical ones are just, lack of boundaries, overcommitting yourself to things or people, um, always saying, I'm sorry. Those are like the common things. But there's some things that don't seem to be covered very often. And those are the things that I want to talk about today. So, the very first thing under the category of people pleasing that I want to talk about is doing or saying anything that is coming from a place of obligation. So anything that you feel obligated to say or obligated to do. And that can be a lot of different things. When you feel obligated to do a favor for someone because they have done something for you, although it doesn't really fit in your schedule and it's not something you really want to do, but you feel obligated to do it. Or if, you know, this is a funny one, but if someone says, well, do I look good in this outfit? Well, you feel obligated to say yes because you want to be polite. But is it the actual truth? Do they really look good in that outfit? If they don't, you should probably say the truth. But you feel obligated to say, oh, no, that looks great. You feel obligated sometimes to do and say things, which is just a form of people pleasing. It's, making sure that the other person is happy or making sure that the other person is receiving what they need or what they want. And sometimes that comes from a place of obligation instead of true uh, kindness from your heart, something that you truly feel like you want to do with inside of you. You should never do or say anything out of obligation. It should always come from a place within you that feels, yes, absolutely, yes, this is something that I want to do. This is something that I want to say. So that is a form of people pleasing that we want to stop doing. Another form of people pleasing is doing or saying anything from a place of guilt or shame. And this is a heavy one because when we operate out of a place of guilt or shame, we are resisting our true soul essence because our true soul essence is never in an energy of guilt or shame. So when we are people pleasing in order to resist being shamed or because we feel guilty if we don't do it, which is kind of ties into obligation, but it goes to a deeper level. I mean, obligation is one thing, but when it gets down to the level of guilt and shame, we are talking serious manipulation. If they put you in a position of feeling guilty for not doing something or not saying something, or they make you feel shameful for not going along with what they want or what they need, that tells you right then and there that you are out of alignment with your true soul essence. And it's a form of people pleasing because nobody wants to feel guilty and nobody wants to be shamed. Those are intense emotions. And our body speaks to us in every situation. When someone is making you feel guilty, you feel that automatically in your body. That is not something you're going to be able to deny. Or shameful, your whole body responds to shame. It's not just something in your head. Your entire body will respond to someone making you feel shameful. I mean, there's a bunch of different physical reactions that actually take place in the body when those emotions occur. So it's not like you would not know that someone is trying to make you feel guilty in order to get their own way, or if someone is trying to place shame on you, you would know that immediately. And that is something you want to stop right then and there. Never allow someone to put you in a position to feel guilty if you don't do something or say something, or to be made to feel shameful for not doing or saying something, to not people pleasing. Another form of people pleasing is doing or saying anything from a position of fear of rejection. And this happens a lot with peers, your friends, your peers, your family. That these are people that you deal with on a regular basis. That tends to happen a lot in those situations because rejection is that's a heavy emotion to deal with as well. So anytime you feel like you need to people please in order to not be rejected, in order to not be cast out, in order to not be looked upon as not a part of the group or not a uh, part of the family or whatever the situation is, that fear of rejection will sometimes cause you to people please. And ultimately, that fear of rejection comes from you rejecting yourself. If you are going to act or, saying or doing anything from a stance of fear of rejection, you're ultimately rejecting your own self in order to please someone else, in order to be a part of the crowd, in order to fit into the clan, in order to keep everyone happy. Because you don't want to be that outcast, you don't want to be the person that goes against the grain, which start going against the grain. Just try it. I think you may like it. Just try it out. And the last one that I want to talk about today is not allowing the word no to be a complete sentence when that's what you really mean. When you feel the need to start justifying your no, you are people pleasing. Because no is a complete sentence. You can say no and not have to justify why you're saying no. When you start having to explain yourself of, well, but this is how I feel and this is what I want. And there's a point of being polite and being kind in saying no. But there's also that thin line where you start to have to justify your no because someone is pushing you into a yes when you really want to say no. No needs to be a complete sentence when it comes to that point. So, how do we start to stop these things? The first thing is you need to get to know yourself. You need to get to know your true soul essence. Because if you don't know yourself, then you have no idea what your truths are and where you stand and what feels right to you and what doesn't. You will just be swayed by everything that everybody wants and everybody desires, and with no thought to your own self. So, the first step is getting to know who you are and what your truths are and where you stand. The second thing is self respect. That is absolutely imperative to all aspects of life, but especially this one. You need to respect yourself enough, and you do that by knowing that you are worthy, that you honor yourself. You're a person of divinity. You are reclaiming your divinity. Reclaiming your divinity automatically brings you self-respect because you know that the divine is living within you. How can you not respect that? How can you not respect that? And I would say the biggest thing, I mean, they're all big, but a major part of it is realizing that you are no better than anyone else, nor are you any less than anyone else. We are all on equal ground here. I don't care if you are, the CEO of God's kingdom, or or if you are a janitor in in a school. It doesn't matter who you are. There is no rank here. We are all on equal ground. We all deserve to be respected, no matter our position, no matter our rank, no matter our title, no matter our monetary worth, no matter our education or lack thereof. It doesn't matter. We are spiritual beings, every one of us, and we deserve to respect ourselves, and others deserve to be respected as well. We are all learning together. We are all growing together. Some may know more things than others. That's okay. It doesn't matter. We're all on equal ground. And the quicker that we understand that and realize that, truly realize that, the quicker that we can see us all as one and not separated and not in different ranks and sects. And that's not sex, that's sects, I think it's spelled. We all have a light and a shadow aspect of ourselves. Sometimes we're walking in the light, and sometimes we are walking in the shadow. And that is every one of us. There is no exceptions here. And that is part of our unity. That is part of our one consciousness. So I hope this information has helped you in some way, shape, or form. Um, or maybe it'll help someone that you know that could use it. And our next video will be on how to stop betraying yourself. So I am sending you all lots of love and lots of activation energy.